Chapter 7 Introduce Pivot Tables. Pivot table is a powerful analysis tool. It can take records and summarizing them into a compact report. Pivot table perform three operations: grouping the data into categories, summarizing the data use calculations, and filtering the data. Let's go to see it. This is a table about sales promotion. This column is the product name, this is a quantity, and this is the promotion type. Now we want to have a pivot table to summarize quantity for each product and promotion type. We click Insert, click Pivot Table. Here we need to input the table and range which we want to summarize is this table, and we can choose where we put the pivot table in a new worksheet or in existing worksheet. Now we want to create the pivot table here and click OK. Now we drop the quantity to the values, drop the product to rows, and draw the promotion to columns. Then we have this pivot table. The row is the product name and column indicate different promotion type. This is the summarizing value, and here we can change it to calculate the average, count, maximum, and minimum. Click OK. Now we use sum. Then we have this pivot table. Let's see more about pivot table. In this pivot table is created from this data. We can see in this pivot table it includes many rows. Now we want to reduce the rows. We can use grouping method. We click here everywhere in the pivot table and click Pivot Table Analysis and choose Group section. Then you can input the starting value, ending value, and the interval. Then click OK. Then we can see our rows are grouped into several rows. Let's see another grouping example. In this pivot table, the row is the order date. There has many rows, so we want to group them to reduce the rows. We can choose, click here and pivot table analysis and click group selection, and we can choose days, months, quarters. Click OK. Then we can see this table are grouped. We can click this collapse field. Then this table is grouped with quarter, and we can also expand the quarters and collapse the field, the months. The last grouping example is grouping text values. This pivot table, the row is the country name. Now we want to group the countries. Here we just choose this name and right click and click group. Then we can see these countries are grouped into one, and we can, in the same way, we can choose other items and right click group and choose other one and right click and group. Now we group the countries into three groups. Next, let's see the filtering in pivot table. In this table, this pivot table, it displays the quantity for each product name. Now we want to know the total quantity for each product in a specific country. We can use report filter. Here we just drag the country into the filter. Then here we click here, we can choose the country which we want. This is the report filter. Report filter applies to the entire pivot table. Let's see the label filter, date filter, and the venue filter. Here, in this pivot table, it displays the quantity for each salesperson. Now we just want to know the quantity for a specific salesperson. We can click here and choose filter by label. And here we can choose it begin with A. Then it will display the quantity for the salesperson whose name starts with A. In this pivot table, it displays the quantity in each month and quarter. Here we can click here and we can choose filter by venue and we can choose the quarter which we want. And in this pivot table, it displays the quantity for the unit price. Then we can click here and we can click the filter by venue and choose one. We can choose greater than 1,000. Then it will display the quantity that greater than 1,000. Let's see the slicer. Slicer is similar to report filter, but is independent of any pivot table. It can be used to filter multiple pivot tables. This pivot table gives us the quantity for the country and the salesperson. We can also include more filters for this pivot table. Click the pivot table analysis and click Insert Slicer. Then we can add city and region filter. This is the slicer we create. And we can choose here and choose anyone. Then the pivot table is the filter with this slicer. We can delete the slicer, just click it and press delete. Then we can delete the slicer. Thank you.